Amaya's youth was taken from her. She recalls the absence of innocent teen romance and typical school dances. She recalls an 85-year-old man dying on top of her when she was 16 years old. And it's hard to think that someone could live through such a thing. And Amaya agrees. Heroin saved her life. It numbed her to the existence that she was surviving, not living because she was merely surviving. Most people may not think much about this issue as we see it as irrelevant in our daily lives. However, you have to keep in mind that this issue may be reality to people around the world. Human rights are something that everyone should have. And when it's violated, it's a crime against humanity. Human trafficking is a huge violation of human rights. Humans are being held in captivity and being forced to work against their will. First, I will describe the problems of human trafficking. Second, I'll examine the solutions. And lastly, I will discuss the benefits. Human trafficking is the illegal exploitation of a human being, stealing their freedoms and rights for financial profit or personal gain. According to the U.S. Department of State, there are 24.9 million human trafficking victims worldwide. This is not something that only happens in dark alleys. It's happening around the world every day. It is a global problem and one of the world's most shameful crimes, affecting the lives of millions and taking away their dignity. According to Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, human trafficking is a serious public health problem that negatively affects the well-being of victims, families, and communities. The consequences are similar to the ones of sexual violence. They can be immediate and long-term, including physical and psychological problems, and negative chronic health outcomes. Now that I have described the problems of human trafficking, I will now examine the solutions. Be aware of the signs of human trafficking. According to the Born Project, being educated on the signs of human trafficking and indicating someone is being a victim of human trafficking, it increases the likelihood of reporting and could give a voice to victims who aren't comfortable enough to speak for themselves. Second is to help survivors. You could donate your clothes or other goods to shelters for victims of human trafficking. And you can also encourage businesses to give jobs to survivors, which can help them get back onto their feet and get a fresh start. And if possible, offer legal advice. It allows them an opportunity to not only move forward, but to gain justice as well. Helping survivors and contributing to the recovery stops the cycle of trauma and ensures it won't repeat itself. According to the National Child Protection Task Force, sharing a missing persons poster, you can search or share any missing persons poster you come across at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and remember to take down their shared post if the person has been found, because this will help protect their privacy in the future. And subscribe to a podcast or a YouTube channel that's focused on trafficking prevention, because the more views, the more content they create, and the more awareness it brings. Now that I have examined the solutions of human trafficking, I will now discuss the benefits of those solutions. The effort to change the world has to start with us taking notice of this issue and coming together to solve it. According to Save the Children, by raising awareness, we reduce the number of people being trafficked, and by helping survivors, we can empower them to rebuild their lives. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is the nation's nonprofit clearinghouse and comprehensive reporting center for all issues related to the prevention and recovery from victimization. NCMEC leads the fight against abduction, abuse, and exploitation. Their website includes a 24-hour hotline. You can upload or search a missing persons poster, submit a report, donate, and they have an active Amber Alert. Believe in the power of knowledge. Utilize awareness as your strongest tool, because stopping it before it happens saves a life. I described the problems of human trafficking, I examined the solutions, and I discussed the benefits. Human rights are something that everyone should have, and when it's violated, it's a crime against humanity. Human trafficking is a huge violation of human rights, and they're being held in captivity and being forced to work against their will. After a decade of being held in captivity by a man, Trafficked on the streets of Washington, D.C. and New York, Amaya escaped and has now become a fierce advocate and leading voice for other women and girls who are facing the daily horror she did.